Hi there, this is Teri from stampinmagic.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today's project is this little treat holder. I've used some of the Dashing Along Designer Series papers to make them, as well as some of our real red solid ribbon to decorate them. Now, the little bows that I've used on the top are actually retired product now. Stampin' Up no longer sells these little mini bows. And then inside I have a Lindt mini chocolate teddy. The papers used were actually part of a promotion earlier in the year, but they're now available to purchase. So let's get started. I have a small piece of the Joyous Noel Designer Series paper here. It measures 4 3/4 inches by 4 1/4 inch. And I've placed it into my Simply scoreboard with the 4 3/4 inch side along the top. And I'm going to score down at 7/8 of an inch, 2 1/8 of an inch, 3 inches and 4 1/4 inches. Then I've rotated my paper and I'm going to score down at 7/8 of an inch, 2 7/8 of an inch, and 3 3/4 of an inch. Because it's quite difficult to see the score lines on the Designer Series paper, I've created a template. And the first thing I'm going to do is to take that bottom corner away and also the top 4 corners on the right hand side. I'm also going to slant cut the sides of that remaining tab. So I'm going to start at the bottom and just cut away that small rectangular piece at the bottom of the long tab, and then I'm going to cut away the 4 sections in that top right hand corner, and then finally on the remaining tab I'm just going to slant cut the top and bottom edges. And this is where you'll add your glue later on. The next thing I'm going to do is create the tabs for the bottom of the box. So I'm going to cut up the vertical score lines to that first horizontal line. And I'm going to make 2 cuts for each one. And all I'm doing is removing the actual score line itself. So it's a very small slither of paper that I'm actually cutting away. And this just helps the box fold in neater when we put it together. And you can see how small those little slithers are here. The next thing I'm going to do is remove these 2 small sections above each of the side tabs. So I'm just going to cut away each of those. And then to actually create tabs from the remaining pieces, I need to continue the cuts down to the next horizontal score line. And again, I'm making 2 little cuts here and taking that slither of paper away. I'm going to round the corners on the closure tab, and this will just help it close more cleanly and easily. I'm going to use the detailed trio punch, and first of all I need to fold those side sections out of the way so they don't get caught when I press the punch down. Then I can just insert the paper into the punch, align the straight edges and then press down. The last thing that needs to be done before I can put this treat holder together is to cut the aperture on the front. Now I'm using a small oval die from the Coffee Cups framelits set, but you could use any small die for this and almost any shape. All you need to remember is that the aperture needs to be cut quite high up so you can see his face through it. The box needs to be folded on all the score lines, and I'm just using my fingers because I'm only using paper here. If it was cardstock, then I would use my bone folder to reinforce those folds. And then the glue can be added on the side tab. I'm going to use Tombow multi-purpose adhesive and just add it all over that tab, and then I'll close the opposite side of the box onto the tab to form my treat holder shape. When sealing the bottom of the box, you want to make sure that the last tab you fold in is the one on the front of the box. This will give you a nice clean edge on the front. So I'm going to fold in the back tab first of all, and then add some glue. And then I'm going to seal the side tabs down first. And then finally that front tab. Trying to make sure everything is nice and square. And then I can add my Lindt teddy and close the box. I'm going to use some of our braided linen trim to decorate the front of the box, and I have 11 inches here, which is 28 centimeters. I'm using a glue dot to help anchor this linen thread into position. This will also help me when I'm tying the bow. And then I'm just going to tie a normal bow, making sure that that first knot is positioned right over the glue dot. And once I'm happy with it, I'll trim away the ends. I'm going to use another of the mini gold bows to decorate the top of the box. And that's it, we're all done. Such a quick and simple project to complete. And these would make perfect little place settings for a Christmas meal, or you could use them as little stocking filler gifts. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Bye for now.